Nathaniel Sports Central, we go over a college football game preview and prediction on the Week 9 matchup between the Ohio State Buckeyes and the Wisconsin Badgers, two teams that we could see facing off in the Big Ten Championship this season. Ohio State's a team that is coming off of a huge win against Penn State last week. This team is 7-0 on the season, ranked third in the country. Very much one of your main national contenders right now, and this team is only getting better as they take on Wisconsin. Wisconsin's probably your favorite in the Big Ten West. But there's a big difference between Ohio State and Wisconsin. The Badgers are a 5-2 football team, decent record, but this team is dealing with injuries and very much just in a tough spot right now. So for Wisconsin, a huge opportunity as we look forward to Week 9. We'll be going over a full game preview and prediction on this matchup here today. Let's get started with your team trends. Ohio State beat Penn State 20-12. Massive win for the Buckeyes. This team started out the season, and there's a little bit of uncertainty around Ohio State just with some of the young talent this team has. But they have started to click. This team is playing very well right now. Just beat Penn State, a really talented football team, and they're only getting better, it seems, as the season goes on. So, I mean, now it looks like Michigan and Ohio State remain your main two contenders in the Big Ten East, similar to last season. I mean, Penn State isn't out quite yet, but that definitely their loss to Ohio State this past week really takes a blow to their chances. And Ohio State is very much a team that could beat Michigan this season. I really do believe that. I think the Buckeyes are right up there as one of your main contenders this season. 7-0, 4-0 in conference, and Wisconsin on the other side beat Illinois 25-21 last week, but this was not a pretty win. Illinois is a team that is, I mean, they turned out to be one of the worst teams in the Big Ten this year, which considering last season they were actually pretty good. It's just been a rough season for them. 1-4 in conference are they, and 3-5 overall now. And for Wisconsin to almost lose to Illinois is definitely concerning. But 5-2, this team is still decent team record-wise. But, I mean, if you look at their games this season and how they've played the past couple especially, it hasn't been great for the Badgers. But games will be on Saturday, the 20th in Madison. Wisconsin's the home team for this matchup. This team does have a strong home field advantage. I don't think some fully remember that, but this team, it's going to be a night game, 6:30 Central. Wisconsin's got a huge opportunity here to really stun the college football world. I mean, Wisconsin's usually a team that you can consider a big contender in the Big Ten. Just the past couple of years, they've been down for sure. But, I mean, this season, this is still a talented team, especially on defense, even though offensively it's just been rough for this team. But Ohio State is favored in this matchup, 14.5 points, over-under is 44, and the FPI is going with the Buckeyes as well, 88%. So Ohio State is a heavy favorite, as you would expect. Series history, Ohio State leads at 62-18. We've seen the Buckeyes win 9 straight matchups against the Badgers. Last time Wisconsin was able to beat Ohio State was in 2010. Your stat comparison, Ohio State 22nd in points per game, third in defense. I mean, this is a well-rounded football team in Ohio State, very much built to go all the way and make it to the college football playoff. And I mean, I mentioned this as well. I mean, you consider the first couple of matchups for this team. Offensively, they didn't really click in the earlier parts of the season. I mean, you consider the Indiana game, only scoring 23 there, and then against an FCS opponent scored 35. But then put up 63 on Western Kentucky, and then obviously the win over Notre Dame. And I feel like the win over Notre Dame is really where things have started to shift for Ohio State. This team has really played well since, and obviously coming off of a big win against a top 10 Penn State team. But the passing game overall has been really strong. 18th in pass yards a game, 80th in rush yards. The rushing game not quite as strong as the passing. And then defensively, 5th in pass defense, 21st in rush defense. I'll just say this right away, and this honestly goes without saying for Wisconsin being a team that is not very strong offensively and now has just lost their starting quarterback in Tanner Mordecai. He is out for the season, it seems, or that's the way it sounds. I mean, this is they're now relying on Braden Locke at quarterback, a guy who's got potential but still pretty inexperienced. And so for Ohio State and for Wisconsin, it's going to be tough to score points in this matchup. You're going up against probably you can make an argument, the best defense in the country here. So for Wisconsin, it's going to be important to be strong defensively in this matchup and force a couple of turnovers and defensive touchdown. Honestly, this team will probably have to score points through special teams or defense if they want any chance of winning this matchup. Your recent matchups: Ohio State beat Penn State 20-12. They also beat Purdue 41-7. Nice win over Maryland. This one should not be overlooked, 37-17. Beat Notre Dame 17-14, and obviously the win over Western Kentucky 63-10. But for Wisconsin, the past couple of games, they beat Illinois 25-21. They got the win there. It's all that matters, but it was not a pretty win. And then obviously the loss to Iowa 15-6. That's as Big Ten West of a score as you're going to find there, seeing Iowa win that matchup with only 15 points. But for Wisconsin, I mean, this is that was obviously the game where this team is kind of had to adjust to the new reality of going to have Braden Locke as your starting quarterback for the rest of the season. So that's definitely an adjustment. And obviously, I mean, they have shown potential offensively. They scored 38 on Purdue, which was impressive. That's probably the most impressive game this team has played so far this season. And also beat a Rutgers team that, I mean, is actually pretty good this year. It's crazy to call Rutgers a good football team, but they're 6-2 right now. Rutgers could be the fourth best team in the Big Ten East behind your powerhouse teams like Michigan, Ohio State, and Penn State. But for Wisconsin, this team has shown potential, but obviously a little bit questionable right now. Your key points: Ohio State 7-0. McCord and the Buckeyes, this team is only getting better, and that's a really good sign moving forward. They're ranked 3rd in the country. Personally, I have them ranked number 2 in the country right now. I've got Michigan at number 1 and Ohio State at number 2. So your big powers in the Big Ten East, your two big rivals, Ohio State and Michigan, are my two top-ranked teams in the country right now. Defensively, this team has been brutal. That's really been where this team has shined, and we saw that against Penn State. Penn State is a strong offensive football team. In Ohio State, I saw a stat. They held them to only 1 third-down conversion. Just insane what this defense did last week, and this team is built to be a national contender this season. Wisconsin on the other side. Braden Locke has taken over for Tanner Mordecai. That's obviously a bit of, I mean, this offense was already in tough enough shape, and now losing your starting quarterback, it's not going to be much easier for the Badgers. But, I mean, this team has potential, though. I mean, defensively, we've seen this team shine at times, and they've shown glimpses of potential, but it's just been inconsistent for this team this season. And I feel like, I mean, it's also first-year head coach Luke Fickell. I feel like we know he's an incredible head coach, and it's honestly just a matter of time until Wisconsin becomes a consistent contender in the Big Ten again. I mean, we've seen this team do it so many times in recent memory, but obviously it's just a transition right now for Wisconsin. But defensively, this team will have to shine in this matchup. Got to keep this game close. I mean, I don't see Wisconsin being able to score more than probably 20 points in this matchup. If they can score 20, it honestly might be a miracle, because this offense is, I mean, I'm just saying it how it is. This offense just is not very good. And so, I mean, if they can find a way to score some points defensively or through special teams, that will go a long way for Wisconsin. And if they can play a strong game defensively and force a couple of the turnovers, you never know what can happen. It's the Big Ten. So with that, let's get some prediction here for Ohio State and Wisconsin coming up here in Week 9 of action. And I'm going to be going with the favorite. It's just a matter of how much, and I do want to take Ohio State 28-17. So I don't think it's a super ugly loss for Wisconsin. I think they hang in there and cover the spread. But I do think Ohio State wins this matchup, and I mean, Wisconsin being at home in a night game, it's going to be loud, and I do think Wisconsin, it's going to be a tough atmosphere, and I feel like they find a way to keep it close. But Ohio State is a team that is playing at a very high level right now, so I do think they find a way and get the win 28-17. So probability, I'll say 65% towards the Buckeyes. Over under is 44. I'm taking the over, and Wisconsin to cover the spread in the end. But with that, let me know your thoughts in the comments below on this matchup and your score predictions, all of that. Drop them in the comments, and stay tuned for more from All Sports Central. Catch you on the next one.